Hello and welcome to Jurassic Reviews. On today's episode, we'll be taking a look at another Mattel Jurassic World figure. That figure is the Indoraptor from the film Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. This figure was requested in the comments on one of my videos by Rob Splain, so thanks for the request. This figure appears at the beginning of my intro, so it felt like a good one to do. I have had many requests for other figure reviews, and don't worry, I'm keeping track on all of them. I'm hoping to have a requested review once or twice a month going forward, so always feel free to subscribe and request a video. I'll be more than happy to do one. Also, a little side note, I have had a few requests for a collection tour video, and I just wanted to say I do plan on having one this year. I just need to figure out a better lighting solution before I make one. I hope to have a tour video every year. Now let's move on to the figure. The Indoraptor stands 6.5 inches tall in its more neutral pose, and is about 15.5 inches long from head to tail. Here's a look at the packaging, which is among the best from the first batch of Jurassic World figures. I love how they incorporated part of the film into the background art. Though unfortunately this was ditched for the current Dino Rivals release of this figure, and that version I believe includes a collector's card. And here's a look at the back of the packaging. The sculpt on this Indoraptor is pretty impressive, and it looks pretty close to its film counterpart. The Indoraptor, of course, is the main dino hybrid villain of the film, so it's not based on an actual dinosaur. I enjoyed Fallen Kingdom just as much as Jurassic World, and I actually like the Indoraptor more than the Indominus Rex, mainly for its colors. The whole figure is made of plastic, and it's a very smooth feeling figure despite being covered in scales. The top half of this figure has larger scales, and the bottom half, like the belly and underneath the tail, smoothens out even more, with only tiny dot-like scales located in these spots. One of the features that really stands out on this figure are the quills on the back of its head and on its back. They are actually made of a softer material and can be moved in different directions. These quills remind me a lot of the ones on the male velociraptors from Jurassic Park 3. One thing this figure has over many other Mattel dinosaurs is a long tail, and it looks great. I wish more Mattel figures would have longer tails like this. Moving to the legs, they are also pretty long, and the feet in particular look awesome with the giant sickle claws. And just like the legs, the arms are long too, and there's even a few quills on the back of each, though these do not stick out like the ones on the back and the head. Speaking of the head, it looks pretty good. I don't think this looks 100% like the Indoraptor in the film, but it's close enough. There is something just a little off about it, and I'm not sure what. It might be the teeth, which are very round looking instead of long and sharp looking like they are in the film, but that's understandable on a toy like this. There's also an unfortunate seam near the nose that sticks out just a tiny bit. Inside the mouth you'll find the previously mentioned teeth and its large tongue. Overall, I really like this sculpt. I'm not sure how in scale it is, I'm just sort of eyeing it here, but it does look pretty good next to humans, but it might just be a tad big. Moving on to the paint, the main color is black, but it also has silver little dots spread throughout the body as well. It almost looks like glitter. It's a very glossy looking figure. I do have one paint defect on mine, just some random paint around the tail. Not sure how it got there. One of the coolest parts of both the dinosaur in the film and this figure is the stripe going down its body. The stripe consists of little dots that are painted yellow and gold. It looks really awesome. It's definitely one of my favorite things about the Indoraptor. And that's about it paint-wise as far as the body. Moving to the arms and legs, there's not really a whole lot of variation here, and it's all just painted black. Looking at the head, you'll find its red painted eyes with black pupils. There's also some red painted scales that extend past the eyes. Moving to the mouth, the teeth are painted white and it has a red tongue. Now let's move on to the absolute best part of this figure, the articulation. This is the most posable Jurassic figure ever made, and it's really fun to mess around with. For the most part, it likes to stand on all fours, but with a little bit of balancing, it can also stand on 2 legs, most likely thanks to its long tail. So let's look at the different points of articulation. The jaw can open, though it's a little tight on my figure. The head is on a ball joint, and so is the neck. Both arms have 3 different points. And so do the legs. The tail has not 1 but 2 different points of articulation, and it has a pretty good range of motion. For a $20 figure, the amount of articulation you get on a figure this large is pretty great. And I look forward to seeing how figures in the Amber collection compare to this one, articulation-wise. Before I give my rating for this figure, here's a comparison with other figures. Here it is with a Mattel 3 3/4 scale human and a Kenner 4-inch human. Here it is with the Velociraptor. Here it is with the Ceratosaurus. Here it is with the Carnotaurus. And finally, here it is with the Indominus Rex. For a rating out of 10, I give this one a 9. The sculpt is good and the paint job is well done. The articulation puts this figure in a league of its own, as far as posability among Jurassic figures. And I hope Mattel attempts more figures like this one in the future. This is just a solid figure and among Mattel's best release so far, and I recommend it. And that does it for the Mattel Indoraptor. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching and see you next time.